you get when you blend a mockumentary, religion, a scandal, plus Regina Hall and Sterling K. Brown? This week's movie, Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul. I'm Chad.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Fran.
You're listening to the 73rd episode of We Used to Talk About This at Work. All right, we are back together, Matt. I take 1 week off and we have more social media engagement than we've ever had in a year and a half of this podcast.
The people are speaking now. They finally, when you're not here, things get going. Interesting stuff.
Did you not see the latest clip that was uploaded, Fran?
I have not. I got to look it up now.
Things went a little topsy-turvy when they was doing movie discussion last week.
I see.
Yeah, somebody didn't do their homework.
Not at all.
I think right now you guys are like fifth in my queue of podcasts.
Okay.
Of things that I need to listen to.
The thing is, but at least we're in the queue.
Oh yeah. Y'all are in the whole thing. Like, but yeah, I'm like 2-3 days behind in my podcast listening.
Fair enough. I'm a little behind myself. But yeah, what's been going on with you, lady?
I mean, good things. I should say that, good things. So I think the last time I was on, I was telling y'all that, I actually bought a house because, my husband tricked me into buying a house.
Yeah, that's how that works. Yes.
Yep. That's exactly how it works. And we don't Yeah. So we already owned a house, right? Like already owned a house. So then it was a decision on what the fuck we gonna do with this other house. So we decided to sell it. Did some work on it first. Got it listed. It sold in a day, or at least got an offer in a day. So I was happy about that. But selling a house is just as much as the process of buying a house. Like buying a house, there's a whole lot of stuff you got to go through, things you got to send in and all that. Selling a house, it's like, oh yeah, here are where all these things has to happen. And by the way, we found these things wrong. These things you can spend more money to fix these things.
Yeah.
Like we had the inspection come down, and so most of the stuff was real simple. Like I could do most of the stuff if I really needed to. We just paid somebody. But one of them was there was a cracked window because there was like an enclosed porch, essentially. There's a cracked window in the enclosed porch. I said, I'm not fucking with those windows. I'm not doing it. That house is too old. I'll mess with one window, have to replace six different windows. I'm not doing that.
Yes.
I'm not doing that. I'll do everything else on this list. That window, that's gonna be all that person. Finally got that settled because that's a whole back and forth that has to go. Like it's like literally the inspection. Okay, here's what we're gonna fix. Do you accept that? Yes or no? If they don't accept it, we gotta negotiate on what we're gonna fix. Luckily, he was just like, yeah, bet. You gonna fix everything else besides the windows? Bet. Because again, like that, like that thing with the window, like the crack in it and like the crack in the frame, like it was literally because the house was built like in 1950s or so. And the owners before me was a nice boomer couple who did a whole lot of DIY projects that I had to fix extensively. So I wasn't trying to do anything else with that house if I could help it. So yeah, like selling the house was a process. So finally got that sold at like right at the end of last month. Like finally got it sold, finally got that done. And then we went on a whole paying off debt spree. So that was fun too. Like it's nice to see like, oh, I got extra money. What? Where does extra money come from?
Right.
I really don't. Because it's just gonna go. It's just getting transferred somewhere else. That's all.
Right.
So that was fun. That was a major thing kind of going on in my life, and can't really complain. Other than that, I've been trying to play more games with my husband.
Okay.
Because he's the gamer in the family. For me, gaming consists of like maybe playing like an old Tony Hawk game where all I gotta do is press buttons. It's literally, okay, Ace to jump. Okay, I'm just gonna press all the buttons and we're gonna make it work. Right? That's how I play games because I don't care. So I started playing Splatoon.
So let's pause for 1 second. You say your husband's a gamer. Xbox or PlayStation? We need to know if we mess with this dude or not.
here's the thing: he can do either, but he normally plays actually on his PC versus on
okay.
either.
He's a different breed. Well, what do you mean he can do either? I'm saying, what does he have?
He has a PlayStation. He also has an Xbox.
Which one? Which ones?
Look. You asking real particular questions. I know the symbols. Okay, I told you I'm not a gamer. Like, why are you asking me all these like complicated questions?
Is the PlayStation white or black?
Black.
So he's got a PS4.
Sure. Yeah.
And the Xbox.
White. I think he just sold that though. Wait, yeah.
I think it could go either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, hold on, the new Xbox, they're different colors, right?
Yeah, I think they're the same colors. I think they're different shapes.
Oh.
So you're playing some Switch.
Yep. So playing Switch. I started playing Splatoon. When I tell you, like, I was sitting there because initially when you first start playing it with the tutorial, you have to move the Switch to like make it the movements and everything. So Splatoon is basically like paintball with a mixture of some type of mystery or fantasy. Like, that's the best way I can explain it. If you guys have never played Splatoon.
I haven't. Have you?
No.
No. Okay. So you can turn off that motion sensors, but you have to get past the tutorial first. I was literally sitting here going, what the fuck is this? Like, why do I have to do this? Turn this shit off. That's all I kept looking at him. He was just like, it's fine. Just get through it. Just get through it. So finally got through it and actually started playing the game itself. And I was just like, all right, I don't know how often I'm going to play this, but I'm going to at least attempt to play a little bit with you and things like that. Other than that, I'll just allow him to beat me several times in Mario Kart.
Yeah, about that. Since we're talking about a game I actually play.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You're trash at Mario Kart?
Oh, okay, here's the thing. I'm not trash, but it is, I rarely play versus someone who constantly be playing games in his free time. Like, that's how he decompresses and things like that. He'll play a game. Whereas I'm sitting here going, oh shit, it's been like 3 months since I've ever even touched a controller of anything. Shit, let me get used to this. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I have to like pay attention and be strategic a little bit sometimes with when I'm breaking or when I'm doing these things, when I'm throwing things. And he's just over here like, shell, banana.
Yeah.
Get your ass, got you.
I'm gonna need you to set something up because we all need to play.
Oh, okay.
Also, how come y'all Twinkies right now?
I don't know why you didn't get the memo.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I didn't
know why you didn't get the memo.
I didn't know
me and Matt was on the same page. Across the
Right.
continent, we was on the same page.
I didn't know we were supposed to be
you.
trippies. I didn't know this.
Ugh. I mean, there's always has to be an odd man out with the triplets, so you know.
So
Guess
that's fair. That's fair. So for the audio listeners, Matt and Fran are both wearing red shirts, and I'm over here with a gray shirt, looking like a goddamn slob. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Our pleasure.
Matt, what's been going on with you, sir?
I'm tired of almost dying every week.
Oh, yo, like you had to
fight, struggle. We
wait. I'm sorry. Are you black or not, Matt?
Huh?
Call back to last week.
Oh yeah. Well, she hasn't listened to it. But yeah, we Thai food season in Japan. So every week, multiple times during the week, there's typhoon. So I know I missed the other episode because of the typhoon. And now there's another one coming later on tonight. Now, normally, like tornadoes we don't do typhoons. And there's only been like 2 or 3 since I've been here. So I base off if I should be worried for my coworkers, because all my coworkers are Japanese. So I base it, if they're not worried, I'm not worried. Why are all of these motherfuckers worried? So now I'm super worried now.
They was worried last week.
Nah, well, last week it was like a 50-50 one. 50-50, some were, some weren't. But like they were getting hotels and all this other stuff. So then like I was like, do we need to get a hotel? Like we try to get a hotel
Where are you gonna hotel at?
downtown.
That's safe.
Yeah, because it's about the type of house you live in and the structure, wood and all this other stuff, depending on where you live on top of a hill with the wind, flooding. It all depends on particulars where you live at. If you
Okay.
need to go to a more sturdier place.
But you guys live in a very modern like complex, so I would think that would be fine, right?
Well, see, and ours is concrete or whatever. So the things I'd be worried about is because we live on a hill.
Okay.
So I'd be worried about like behind us, the
The
not the
mudslide.
flooding, mudslide behind it. And I'd be worried about because we're right by the ocean. So I'm worried because we get the wind is real bad and stuff like that. So like, well, you can't see, but we have all our shit tied down. We're gonna bring in things. So got to do it again. So we will see. And then they said there's another one coming around Friday or Saturday this week too.
So you doing anything to miss these episodes, huh?
Hey man, if Mother Nature don't want me to be here, I'm not gonna argue with her.
I mean, it's divine intervention.
Right.
Right.
Yes. I mean, topical right, for this week, right?
Right.
All right. Well,
Well,
you been watching anything?
I've been watching a couple things, but one thing is, you guys know, our listeners know, I've been hyping up Abbott Elementary since day one, and I come back to not to toot my horn, but to toot all the other horns where the Academy agrees with me, and I'm glad to see everybody get their flowers and they shine.
I'm definitely glad that Black royalty Charlie Lee Ralph finally got an Emmy. Or
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
And
also
the song too.
Yeah.
Right. So did you guys watch that?
I
I've
watched her. I don't
watched-
watch Emmys, but I watch her.
I watched the clip. I didn't realize the Emmys were airing on a Monday. That's weird.
Because like when Quinta won her award and they had that guy on the ground and
Jimmy Kimmel.
I didn't get it. Yeah, I didn't get it. I guess they said it was a joke beforehand.
Did you watch the whole thing or a clip?
No, I just watched her acceptance speech. I
So
didn't watch
you watched a clip.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. Like he was also like the joke was that he was being a sore loser. But I feel like maybe more context would have been given if you would have seen like what was around that clip, like before it.
I still don't think it hit. I still don't think that joke hit the way it's supposed to.
I'm not defending it. I'm just explaining his. Yeah.
Right. So when you watched it and you watched the whole thing, when he was like laying there, it made sense for you for like him to be laying there that whole time.
No, I didn't say that. I'm explaining what the joke was, and I said maybe it would have made sense to you.
Oh, I mean, but I'm saying like I know, of course, because I like to separate how it happened from what the Twitter outrage is. So if I would have been watching all the way through and I'm watching it, I would have been like, that's part of the joke and everything for him to be laying down. Or in real time, what I would have been like, dude, stand the fuck up and leave.
I feel like people that watched it live, they probably understood it. They were probably just like, don't do that.
Yeah, I think because I think the joke was supposed to be like over his dead body, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's basically in that context. It's still
okay.
that it didn't really fall the way he wanted it to, which is why I think almost immediately after like Quinta was like, I mean, it was a joke. I got it. I don't think everybody else is going to. Like she flat out said, like, I don't know how well this is gonna hit, but okay.
Yeah, and season 2 starts next week. I think next week.
So. I think so.
Yeah. So congratulations to all of them, and still one of the best shows on TV. I've also watched Emily the Criminal. Have you guys watched that?
I want to hear about this because like a girl Aubrey Plaza was fucking up last time with that round spin me round, and I need to know, did she redeem herself?
100%. this movie was great. I like the.
Well, tell the audience what it's about.
Okay, so basically, she is trying to pay off her student loans, or she has a lot of student loans, and she's working these jobs trying to make money, and she's trying to do this stuff, and she was able to get a connect to where she has to do illegal things. And I'm not going to spoil anything else. I'll just leave it as that, because then that divulged into something else. But I thought she did great in this. I want to get the names right. You know, Theo Rossi is.
Yeah,
he was in Sons of Anarchy.
He was in so much. He was in Luke Cage. He's in everything.
Yeah, like she did her thing. The plot was great. Definitely check this out, because there's no comedy in this. It's all like straight drama, not action, that's not the right word. Thriller. I don't know if that's the right word either, but it's suspense. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Suspense. So, and yeah, I'm clapping for her. This is great. You should definitely watch it. I'll give this 5-star. Well, let's not get crazy here. I'll give it a high number. We'll do 4 stars. It was very good. Like, it was something where like I'll even watch it again.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other thing I was able to watch is Pinocchio. Have you seen it?
No. Why did you watch that? Okay, well, let me rephrase. I'm assuming you mean the live action reboot and not the classic from the 30s.
Yes, the live action with Tom Hanks. That's what I watched.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
My question is, why did they make Pinocchio in live action look like the cartoon?
Yes. Okay, so the question I want to ask you guys is, I've seen the cartoon one years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know the plot, or not the plot, but like the details? Like, I don't, like, when I watched this movie, I'm like, I don't remember this happening in the cartoon. But also, I kind of don't remember what happened in the cartoon. I know he was wooden boy and things happened. So what you guys remember from Pinocchio? Explain to me what happened in the cartoon.
A fairy comes down, turns this wooden puppet into
a real boy.
Not a real boy.
No, it turns an inanimate puppet into a live puppet.
Yes. And from there, hijinks ensue, because you have his old ass daddy, who's not really taking care of him like that.
Geppetto.
Yeah, Geppetto. He runs away with the circus. Mm-hmm. With some other boys. There's a very traumatic scene of the boys like turning into donkeys and animals.
Yeah, but also before that, they're like drinking and smoking cigars and shit.
Yeah.
Like basically, they're being bad, and so they're being punished by being turned into donkeys, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, well, then it's been a minute since I've watched it.
All right, this is exactly the same thing, because when they was turning into donkeys, and I was like, wait, I don't remember this. But yeah, they was drinking and smoking, and they was inside of a whale, sea monster things. My son enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. It was all right.
From what I understand, they changed some aspects of it. Like in the end, at least in the classic, he turns into a real boy, but he didn't get turned into a real boy in this, right?
They alluded to it. Jiminy Cricket was like, some say he got turned into a boy, some say he didn't. So like as they're walking away, you can see his wooden legs slowly turn into people leggies thingy. So
that's cheap.
Yeah. And another thing is he makes these clocks, and this is set
Geppetto.
Geppetto makes the clocks, and this is set in time frame, what years? 17? I don't know. Olden times. But why the fuck all these clocks? He has like cuckoo clocks. Mm-hmm. One of the clocks is fucking what's Roger Rabbit's girlfriend's name?
Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit. It's a clock with them on it. It's a clock with Magnificent on it. Like he has all these up-to-date references, all these clocks.
Yeah, that's Disney being like, hey, You want one of these clocks? We got you in
Right.
Disneyland. We got
Right.
you. Come
Oh,
through.
yeah.
So it's
Come
it's
through.
that, and it's like, hey, I know you're with your nostalgic heart. Let me sprinkle a little bit of this Easter eggs. I mean, sprinkle. That's all
Yeah.
Disney's doing.
Here's my question. Well, indulge me, Matt. Actually, answer this question. What did it recommend you when you finish Pinocchio? You know, it's
Right, it's
gonna
gonna be the
recommend you one of those movies, I assume.
movies, right? The other Disney movies, yes.
Right.
Yes.
So they just
Right.
they just want to keep you on the app.
Yes. Well, I mean, it did make. I kind of do want to go back because he has a
I
whole
do want to
wall of
watch.
clocks.
I do want to watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
It is true because like, oh yeah, that was a good movie. But I kind of want to see like because it's real fast and it's a whole wall full of clocks. I do want to kind of go back and see like the Easter eggs of which movie was on these clocks and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's Pinocchio, so you're not gonna miss much. But that was good for me because I don't remember none of that stuff that was happening in the cartoon, and I would never go back to watch that cartoon. So it was good. Tom Hanks did his little thing. He was singing and stuff. I was proud of him.
Oh, Hank singing.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle, please sit down.
But
Right.
like legitimately singing, like it sounded like his voice, or he had some good lip sync going on.
Oh, it's a sing songy.
It sounded like it was him to me, but don't trust me on it. It could have been somebody else.
Man, tell Uncle to sit down.
Now he gotta get this money like everybody else. He's trying to get himself a pony.
I mean, I feel like Tom Hanks is gonna be all right. He played Walt Disney. He's gonna be all right.
Speaking of Walt Disney, last week I brought up with them about how people are upset about the Little Mermaid thing, right?
Okay.
So then I want to talk about did you hear about Kiki Palmer and everybody and being rogue?
To both of y'all, yes.
Yes.
Well, yes. So I just want to get your thoughts about that, about her, because the way the guy lays it out or basically there's a fan, he comes in there and he explains how he thinks Kiki Palmer should be a good rogue and everything like that. But the way he lays it out, it makes sense to me. So I just want to get your thoughts about it.
Absolutely. Like all the way, because I saw that and like immediately when he said it, I said, oh, fuck it. He didn't have to say a single other thing. And I was like, yes, absolutely. Where's the petition? Disney, we have done this work for you. Just cast her. Because she would rock that. She would rock that. Like everything about her and just being that character literally just fits. And we're just sitting here like, she said she was down. She's already said she was down. Disney, get on it.
I mean, if they fucking cast John Krasinski, like fucking call up Kiki Palmer. She already part of the family. She's already a D23 for a fucking Proud Family. It's not like y'all don't have her number.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I liked it where it's like her personality and her acting ability will be perfect for Rogue. I'm glad they didn't just do it off like some kind of looks thing. Where she will kill it, not on looks, but she will kill the acting perfectly for Rogue.
Yeah, and like what the guy was saying in the video is like, okay, like people were like, oh yeah, she should be in a superhero movie, and they were just like, Storm, cause she's black. Like, no, like you gotta fucking cast people that for roles that complement their abilities. Like, you're not gonna have somebody that can't handle the material, and it's like she has that sassy Southern. I don't think she's actually Southern, but she has that sassy like attitude, you know?
Yeah, but she can do accents. Well, I mean, she's an actor, but she can do different accents and things like that really well too. Like that's nothing. Like for her to work with a dialogue coach.
Illinois.
She's from Illinois. No, like she don't even have to fucking do the accent though. Like part of me says don't try it. Just be Kiki Palmer. You could I still believe that you're from the South.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, but like she could body that role purely one from a comedic standpoint, from a serious standpoint, like everything about that role she could body. And when they actually do finally bring in the X-Men into, the MCU, it would be nice to be like, oh shit, Kiki Palmer is Rogue. That is what's up.
So, okay, since we're on this topic, a couple of things. So, people were saying that they wanted Lakeith Stanfield as Gambit, and the same guy that did the Rogue video, like, came out with something that talked against that casting, partially because of like how overly sexualized Gambit is, and he was like,
Mhm.
"It's not my place to say this, but do y'all want a black actor to have to carry the weight of that burden?"
Okay. Okay. That's valid. I can see that, especially like in just some more of a historical context of, black people being overly sexualized in general,
Right.
right? But then if we're just going based off of just blind casting, right? Like the best person kind of gets the role.
That's not
Like,
how life works.
exactly. Now, I will say this, like, I don't necessarily see him as Gambit either. Now, granted, he's an actor, so
I mean,
that's their craft.
Lakeith Stanfield can handle most of the material he's given.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't doubt that. I just like for me, I don't necessarily see it. But I realize that again, he is an actor, right? He's trained in this. So just because I don't
Mhm.
see it doesn't mean that he wouldn't be able to body that role. I'd be like, I don't know why I doubted him. So
Yeah, I'm on the same page. Like you said, I don't see it, but like you said, actor, he might body this role, and um, I I don't. That would never have came to mind him, but
Do you
like
have someone in mind?
I don't. I was about to ask you, do you guys have
Okay.
anybody else in mind?
Not really.
Yeah, now
nah,
I
not
gotta
for that
sit down
one.
and think about it. Yeah.
Uh,
Now, okay, we talked
Timothy
about
Chalamet.
Oh God. Oh, yeah, no.
now does when we talking about how Rogue and we were saying how she wouldn't have to do the accent. Is there any character like that 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 accent or is a part of that character where you would need to keep it?
So, in the original X-Men movies, if you recall, in the first one, Halle Berry did an African accent. And every time she came back for the role, that accent got smaller and smaller until it was just Halle Berry talking. And I'm like,
Mhm.
you know what? For you, Halle Berry, don't do that accent. But that's not your question. I don't know. I mean, Black Panther, maybe? I don't fucking know.
No, I mean, on the if we're they really think about like accent, I would say Storm does need to have some type of accent. Like
Hmm.
it doesn't make sense for Storm not to have some type of accent. Now I get it as far as with Halle Berry, like or Halle Berry, like that accent was bad. It wasn't that good. And
Yes.
so she lessened it for every single one of her appearances. Cause then it was like what one scene in that one last movie. She was like, I'm not doing this accent. You gonna
Right.
hear my voice. I'm in one scene. But like, so I get that. But as far as like moving into the MCU, if you're gonna do Storm, right, and you're gonna have that character, like it would make the most sense for them to have an accent and to work on it. Like, and again, we have seen good accents come from people who do not speak in that normal accent, like with Black Panther. So
I was
I
leaning
mean,
towards like, does Gambit need to have a Cajun accent, or can he just can it be without it? Like, does a Gambit character need to have a Cajun accent?
well, the way I'm looking at it is like how it's cast. So it's like before Kiki Palmer was in question, I'm like, yeah, don't that they need the accent. But I'm like, if we over here signing this petition for Kiki Palmer to play Rogue, I'm like, girl, you don't even worry about it. All right. Like I just want you to get your Marvel check. I don't want there to be any extra shit you gotta worry about. You just be you. Because it's Kiki Palmer, we looking at her. In an ambiguous role where I don't have a actual actor in mind, I'm going to say yes. But if there's an actor like look, if we were saying Lakeith Stanfield as Gambit, I'd be like, brother, don't even worry about it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
But one more. So Giancarlo Esposito as Professor Xavier.
I don't know who
That's
that
another
is.
fan casting. Have you ever seen Breaking on The Boys, the Black Boss guy? The president of Vault or Vault.
Oh yeah. Him as Professor Xavier. uh,
So I
I
saw
mean,
another tickety talk about this. And so
so I would actually rather see him as Magneto
okay,
versus Professor Xavier.
go on.
Because I mean, I just feel like he plays an intimidating badass very well, right? And so him being Magneto, like that antagonist that you could very much relate to. You can relate to both sides, but I think that he could really do that role very like so well, where you're just like, okay, you're kind of convincing me here. You are kind of convincing me of having a whole mutant uprising, and it's like right there because he can just play an intelligent kind of badass but like he could play that type of level of criminal or antagonist so well that you're just like, oh, okay, I feel it, I see it. So it's just like with Breaking Bad or in The Boys or something like that. There's something behind everything that he's doing or saying or something like that. You're like, oh shit, he could probably manipulate the fuck out of me.
I agree with you on that. Yeah, I'm like the more you explained it, I kind of like him better as Magneto for everything that you said.
So couple things. Like one, like the whole typecasting him, like all this brother does is play villains. That's one.
I got you.
So
I could.
you so good at it.
Right, but he's so good. He is so good at that.
And then two, so we are going to gender a lot of the times when we gender flip is loosely positive, right? It's not gender or gender and race flip, right? And so we're race flipping a white villain to a black villain. That would also cause us, since he's black now, to change the origins of Magneto. Like we're gonna go away from
Oh
the
yeah, the
whole
Holocaust.
yeah,
Yeah.
which
Well, I mean, there were people in the Holocaust that were black. They just all died because you couldn't
yes,
hide.
yes.
So
So I was thinking about it, and I was like, perhaps we could change the Holocaust to apartheid.
yeah,
A what?
Apartheid.
apartheid. Yeah.
What is that?
It is was it? It was in South Africa, right?
Yeah. So South Africa, just think of it as harsher Jim Crow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it didn't end until the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So with the whole him as Professor Xavier, I saw a TikTok talking against it, partially because they were saying like, yes, he has these powers of like mental manipulation and stuff, but his greatest power is white privilege in order to get these families to trust him to send their kids to this fucking school.
Absolutely. And okay, let's also, if we're gonna also kind of play on this race thing, you really think that when he was born, like respectively, right? So when Professor X was born and grew up in his life, you don't think something would have happened to his money when we got Tulsa and all these other
yeah.
types of things that happen
Right.
to rich black people? Like, nah,
Right.
I just can't see it. Like, it's one of those things. Same with Magneto. Like, the white privilege of it all definitely hits hard when you're
Yes.
thinking about Professor X.
Yeah. So I
True.
just wanted to throw that out there.
What have you been up to?
So last week I went to D23. That is think Comic-Con, but for Disney. So that was my first time in Anaheim. I went to Disneyland for the first time. Was really cool. I got to ride Rise of the Resistance, and that's like genuinely the best ride in Disney, I feel like.
Mhm.
Like that's the Star Wars ride where you basically have been captured by the First Order and then you're escaping. And like it's so cool. Like so much of that ride is backwards. I wasn't expecting it. And then it's like there's a part of it's like a chase and like somebody's chasing you and like a lightsaber is like going through the ceiling of the room that you're in. Like it's really cool. And like there's a drop that you're not ready for it. You're not fucking ready for it. Highly recommend it. I spent too much fucking money on a lightsaber. I don't regret it yet, but I will.
You still
No, you
enjoying
won't.
it now.
Yeah. But the convention was really dope. I haven't been to a con since 2019. They are doing something that I don't like, and they've been doing this since before COVID, where they're trying not to have people line up in lines. And so a lot of the stuff they're like, sign up for this event on the app, like a meet and greet, or like even access to some of the stores, which is stupid. And so like you'll see a line and you want to get in, and they're like, "Oh yeah, can we see your QR code?" And I'm like, "For what?" It's because you did the virtual line, right? And I'm like, no. So you get turned away for some stuff. Um, but overall it was good. I went to the Proud Family panel on Sunday, and that was really cool. Kiki Palmer is Kiki Palmer is Kiki Palmer, and you'll know what I mean if you know what I mean.
Makes
But
sense.
But when I went into that panel, they gave out these tickets, and I won a album of songs that they sang on the show, like an actual vinyl album. This is the first one I own, and
So now you're
so
like, I gotta get a record player now.
right. And so like afterwards, I went to the meet and greet, and they signed the album and took a picture with me, and they were all seemed really nice and cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. That's great. Actually, you might not have to get a record player. You just, wrap it up and you be like, see, it's signed, and this is a collector's item now. So,
Well,
Right.
here's the thing. Kayla, when Kayla Pratt was signing it, she asked me what my name was.
mhm.
And so I'm like, fuck. My name is eBay.
Oh, she
Also-
already knew.
yeah,
She was
she
like,
did.
"Hi, you ain't signing this shit."
She did. Also, I met Floyd Norman. He's the first Black animator at Disney. Like he worked there under Walt Disney. Like he was a really nice man. When I met him, I was like, it was me and just some random other black woman next to me. Like we weren't together. We were just like we just saw him like walking the floor together, and I was like, "Oh, is that him?" She's like, "Yeah." And so we started talking to him and his wife, and they assumed we were together. And so like the four of us, we had like a real conversation about what it was really like to work at Disney, if you get what I
Uh-huh.
mean. Because
Right.
his wife worked at Disney also. Yes. Because his wife worked at Disney. She was younger than him. So she worked at Disney in the 90s. And so she was like, the culture was very different when she was there in the 90s versus when he was there in the 60s. And so we kind of talked about that a little bit. And so it was a good conversation, and we got some photos, and they were really nice. They had that fun grandpa, grandma, uncle, aunt energy.
Mhm.
But yeah, overall the trip was great. I got some amazing tacos from like a taco place, like hole in the wall type situation where like nobody behind the counter spoke English. I got some really good Korean food one night. It was an awesome trip. Very expensive. I don't know if I would. It's because this is a solo trip. I don't know if I would do that again. But I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, the best places is for Mexican food is when like they don't speak no English and it's a
Mhm.
hole in the wall.
Mhm.
Your food
Yeah.
about to be fire.
And they only accepted cash too.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. You knew it's gonna be fire. We were like, "Oh, you don't accept card? Oh, bad."
Yes,
Yeah.
let me run to the grocery store over here to hit that ATM. So I caught Bullet Train with Brad Pitt.
How was that?
It was so good. It was so fun.
Was it?
Oh, you didn't like it? You saw it?
I said I haven't seen it, but I was skeptical watching it or not. So okay, all right. I'm waiting for your full.
It was a lot of
breakdown.
fun. Like for me, I appreciate like random cameos. And there were some random cameos that you like when these people showed up, you just started cracking up because you're like, what the fuck are you doing in this movie?
Had to get that check.
It was well, actually, I'm gonna lightly spoil something. I'm not gonna say who it was, but at least for one of the actors in it, he did it for a favor because Brad Pitt showed up in a movie of his. Yeah, I've been watching She-Hulk.
I only watched like the first episode. I'm behind because I just been busy. So
I've watched it.
Okay, so just
you can spoil all day. I'm still gonna watch it regardless. I don't care.
All right. Well, what'd you think of episode 4, the magician one?
I liked it. Madison, one Y and two N's, but it's not where you think.
Yes, but it's not where you think.
Right. I'm enjoying this. 4 was a magician, 5 was the clothes.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So just 4. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Now I don't know if Madison is a real character in Marvel.
I don't think so.
Okay. So like I'm taking everything like if it's not something like an Iron Man or something like that, all these other characters, I'm not familiar at all with any of these She-Hulk stuff. So everything's fresh to me and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. So like episode 4 was the first one where I'm like wholeheartedly, this is the show that I was expecting when they said they were going to do this. Like you got some stupid ass law case where it's like, what the fuck yes, what that man was doing is fucking gross negligence. Yes. But it's like at the grand scheme of things, this is really dumb. And like this is the shit she has to put up with, right? And then it's like we have a B story with her doing some stupid shit. And it's like this is what I want.
Right.
Was that the same? That's the online dating episode.
Which one's the one where she goes to court? Where she actually goes in law?
That's the next one.
Okay.
But yeah, like she's like going on online dates and stuff, and it's just like here's some silly shit, you know?
Right.
And so then going into episode 5, I'm just like, yeah, here's another really stupid fucking case. Like this person really thought that they had a case. Like what are you doing? And I also like how the intro changed because of what that person did.
Oh yeah, because it said
it said what it said.
Okay. Well, we ain't doing spoilers yet. Okay. But yeah, for everything what it is, I've like we said before, like at the first 2 episodes and a twerking thing, and people are all getting upset for it. And
oh wait, did we talk about that on air?
No.
When the fuck did we last record with each other?
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the twerking episode. Like I was like, only complaint I have about the twerking is like her fucking CGI looks not good. And so like it just didn't look right when she was twerking.
Right.
Her face.
But I have no problems with none of this. I'm enjoying all of it. And on episode 5, I did like the whole copyright stuff and everything, and how she has to prove it, but she couldn't represent herself and everything. I'm enjoying, like you said you wanted more lawyer type stuff on the show.
Yeah,
and I'm enjoying it too. That's what I'm looking for.
And like I didn't mind like her coworkers either. Where I would have rather the B story just been them standing in line for the Iron Man 3 tennis shoes. Like that would have been that. I feel like that would have been funny.
Actually, do you think they'll start selling those Avengers t-shirts?
Yes.
Probably get one.
I would. I feel like if that episode would have aired while we were at D23, they would have been selling them.
Oh yeah. So another thing is like they're making her a new costume.
Well, not just a costume, but she's not gonna be wearing those ugly ass suits anymore.
Right?
So she's gonna have like dresses.
I don't know what that costume looks like. So me personally, I'm interested to see what it's gonna look like.
Me too. I'm just happy that she's gonna stop wearing these men's big and tall suits and like
yeah.
But yeah, anything before we jump to it, y'all?
Nope.
All right. This week we discuss fuck are we doing? This week we discuss Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul.
I just want to clarify some things before we get started. Every woman is not built for the great responsibility of being a first lady.
Pastor Lee Curtis Childs faces allegations of misconduct. His megachurch may never be the same.
Lee Curtis and we're going to get to the other side.
You there? Yeah, with the big old microphone. Come in closer, son. You gonna see what all the fuss is about. Showtime.
What's up? Fresh is our turn, baby.
Rebounding from scandal, a pastor and his wife let a film crew follow them as they attempt to reopen their megachurch. Matt, what did you think of this movie?
I did not like this movie at all.
Matt,
I was like,
every single time, Matt. You just
Let me
disappoint me.
actually let's roll back to the history of Friends. So Spiderhead, which was a piece of shit,
Oh my gosh.
Turning Red, and then that bullshit ass vampire movie.
Yes.
And now this. Wow. I'm sorry, Fran.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure with everyone, Matt was like, I don't like this movie. And like with Turning Red, I'm like, okay, it was okay.
No, that's the only one where I was like, man.
Every single time. Nah, it's okay. Like, so this, for what it was okay, in my opinion. But I'll let Matt go first. Go ahead and give your wrong opinion on why you didn't like this.
Your wrong opinion.
I just didn't like, as I'm watching it, I just thought it was stupid. Like I'm trying, like I felt bad for her. I felt like
Who was her?
Regina Hall.
Well, no, I was trying to think of her the character's name, but yeah,
Trinity, I think, or
Trinity, yeah. Like she's trying to stick with it so she can remain. What do they call her? The
First lady.
First lady.
Yeah, first lady. So she can stay. So as she can remain the first lady of the church, and she's putting up with all of this stuff. And then like him manipulating. See, I guess maybe the bigger picture is like I gotta think how I want to
break it down. Full spoilers.
Okay.
Break it down.
No. I have concerns.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say questions. I have questions in general about churches and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So where I see it and I'm just like, these further, or this explains why these questions I already have, where you see you're not doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it for your own personal gains.
Right.
So it's like, right. So as I'm watching this, I guess I have preconceived biases for this stuff. And then now that it's on there and I'm like, see, this is what I'm talking about. So maybe that's why, but it's like, but no, go ahead.
But I mean,
Get it off your
for
chest.
me, I guess that's the point,
Yes.
right? That's the point of the movie, right? So this movie is definitely for all of the people who have either grown up in the church or know something about church, especially Black church.
Yes.
Right. And you
wait, real quick, before I forget,
hypocrisy.
just real quick.
Yeah.
Right off that. So I watched it with my wife, right? So when they was catching the Holy Ghost, my wife was like, well, what are they doing? And like, when they were dancing up and down and stuff, she's like, well, what are they doing? I was like, they was catching Holy Ghost. And then like, I had to try to explain to her what that meant and why they were acting like that.
Yeah. So like the point of the movie, if you're just thinking about like a straight out comedy, right? Like, so a straight out comedy mockumentary, like where like you completely understand the jokes. It's things like that where like you won't understand like how kind of this is a little funny, or you can get a chuckle out of it because if you haven't grown up with that experience, right? Like as a straight out comedy, I don't think it hit well. Absolutely not. But for what it was and for what they are doing, like the mirror that they held up for just church and the hypocrisy that sometimes come with the people who are leading church, right? And the pressure that women in the church will sometimes feel as well, right? Like that's where it kind of goes deeper, where people are like, haha, I really enjoyed this movie. That's where I think it kind of comes, right? But like with everything you said, like a lot of it, like having those questions and having those things where you're like, yeah, yep, definitely kind of putting out something that I already have some questions about, right? Like,
Right.
That I think that's the point of the movie.
Yeah.
Right. Like you said about not knowing, if you're not knowing this stuff, you're not going to get the jokes and everything. And back to my wife, because she was like, when she was shopping for the hats and everything, and all the different suits and stuff. And then my wife was like, well, why are they dressing up like that? I'm like, because it's Sunday. And especially it's Easter Sunday. And then she was like, but why are they dressing up? I was like, because it's Easter Sunday. And then she's like, no, why? And I was like, because it's Easter Sunday.
There's literally no other explanation.
Right.
So she was like, well, you can, I'm like, I know God tells you come as you are, but that's if you ain't got it. If you got it, you gonna come in looking at your best.
The
Right. Right. Come as you are don't mean that you're supposed to look homeless and you ain't. Like it
right.
No.
Right.
No, like so I like this movie. Like clearly it's satire, right? And I don't know, like it just like Matt, it just reinforced my bias. It's like I don't get how these people with mega churches, and I'm calling somebody out right now, Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
Like I remember when there was like flooding and like he was mad that he's
he
mad
wouldn't let those people in.
Right. And he was mad that they was up in there.
In your church,
Right.
that can literally hold
a whole town.
A whole motherfucking town. Right? And it was dry and safe. You could have held the whole fucking town. Now you can't come in my church. What you talking about?
Right.
Ooh, brokies, get away.
Right.
Like that's the way I feel.
Ew, pores. Yeah, I'm not gonna hide. So like, yeah, it's that like when they were showing their house, like their fucking extravagant house and all those cars that they own and the fucking gold crosses and like all the expensive suits and shit. And it's just like, this shit's fucking ridiculous. And it's like, why do people put up with that? You know,
Absolutely.
like that's what it's saying.
But like, it's also the like commentary that happened like in the background, right? Like, oh, I can't believe that he do that. Like, I mean, he ain't like them Catholic preachers. Like, they were all grown. They made these decisions. Like, it's like it's things like that. We're like
the mental gymnastics,
right? It's like, oh, these mental gymnastics that we have to do to hold people that we possibly look up to into some type of on this pedestal, right? In some type of esteem, and like, I mean, but maybe, and if, well, maybe it was them, right? It's like, if you really think about it, it's like R. Kelly. There are some people
I was just about to fucking bring him up.
Don't believe that R. Kelly did anything wrong.
Right. It's the parents' fault. It's the parents' fault. Right. You know, where was the parents at? Like, no, don't do that. Yeah. So like those things. Sterling K. Brown was acting his motherfucking ass off. I would say that. But also this brother been working out. Like he about to be in a superhero movie.
I feel like he got some undercover. Like he got a few more abs.
Right.
Started popping. I don't know about all that.
Also, like when he just like randomly started taking his clothes off during that sermon, I'm like, what is happening right now?
Okay, so purely on like a mental health standpoint, I'm literally sitting here going, oh my God, the narcissism, my God. Leave him, sis. Leave him. Please leave him.
And that's what I was thinking. Like, I just felt like he was like basically not pimping, that's not the right word, exploiting her to do everything. And then like it was small, but like actually I got angry when he had her paint her face and be on the street like that. I legit got angry at that fucking scene.
Yeah, I mean that was the point though. And it's just like it's subtle, like the little things, like even before she had her blow up with the film crew when they asked why'd you leave, like it's subtle why she's still staying there. Like when she was like, you need to get me back up on that pulpit next to you. You know, it's like she wants that shine too.
Mhm.
Right.
And it's just like, yeah.
I think like ultimately, like she has put in the work as well, right? Like I put in all this work for you to fuck it up.
Mhm.
And now I have to sit here and work with you again to build us back up.
Yep.
On top of, we got our ex, people like
Yes.
who are now pastors of their own church
Pastor
building
and
up basic-
pastor.
the pastor
Yeah.
and pastor who are building up their own church. And was Shady doing it? Like they threw the little mean nice shade that you do in church.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were throwing all that, which again was kind of part of the comedy that you wouldn't get unless.
Oh
you
yeah,
were,
just like when they were at the mall.
Yeah.
She was
Yes.
like, "Bless your heart." Like I got that joke. My
Yes.
wife
Yeah,
didn't get that joke.
as soon as she said it, oh well, bless your heart, and it was a oh,
Right,
bless
right.
your heart. Oh,
That-
so what?
But also, I just want to take a pause and say I fucking love Nicole Bahari, and I was so happy to see her.
Mhm.
Also, like I just appreciated just like the fucking hair and the wigs in this movie, like top notch, top
Yes,
fucking notch.
yes.
This ain't no Tyler Perry movie.
Got that
Absolutely. They
right.
spent money on the wigs. We appreciate it.
Got that right.
The details matter.
Exactly. Can I just throw out something that like I heard, like, so the Nuck If You Buck scene,
Mhm.
right? Like neither one of them
Oh,
have
stop!
ever heard.
Stop! We're gonna talk about that in trivia.
Really?
We are.
Really? In trivia? Okay.
Yeah.
Fine then, sir.
Fine. But yeah, like just to jump back on Sterling K. Brown's acting, and okay, just so we're all on the same page. So the reason that there was scandal at the church is because several young men accused the pastor of sexual misconduct. And that scene with Sterling K. Brown and that microphone dude on that basketball court was just so creepy.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
that
Like
was-
Yeah, he
you
touched
could,
his face and everything. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, but you could literally see the manipulation, right? Like starting like here's how he somewhat manipulates. Here's how he tries to get in good graces. He's gonna do you a favor, right? He's trying to help you. But
Mhm.
for that help, you gonna have to give up a little something.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So like you could truly see it. And like the fact of the matter is that with that scene in particular, like he probably would have kept going if his wife wasn't like, "Fuck is wrong with you?"
Right, but it wasn't even like a what the fuck is wrong with you, because it's like by the end of the movie you know that she knows what he's been doing, and it's like she doesn't approve of it, but it's like just keep it quiet.
Right.
Right.
Well,
As long as you don't mess up what I got going on here,
Right.
and it's not out in the public, then go ahead, do what you do. I still get to keep my stuff. But then now you messing up, literally, you're messing up the church's money now. So
They literally
gotta do
just
things.
settled the case.
yes.
Right.
And so you have things like that. You also have like her going to her mom and just be like trying to be emotionally vulnerable with her mom, and then immediately getting shut down with
Right.
No, here's the Christian attitude, and you just gotta just pray on it. You'll be all right. Just immediately getting
Right.
shut down. It's just like, see, that's the reason why you're gonna be in the old dirty nursing home right there. Right. Like y'all, come on now.
But yeah, I like the movie. But what do you guys think the Rotten Tomatoes was?
70.
75.
So there's a very interesting one. The tomato meter was 72. I want you to guess the audience score. It's rotten.
30.
20.
26. People didn't get the joke.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think part of that is there are going to be definitely some people who just don't get the jokes, right? But I think there's also going to be some people who did not like that mirror being held up in front of them.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and was like, forget this movie. We don't act like that. Yes, you do.
You do.
Yes, you do.
Yes, yeah, do.
Yeah.
Which is why we can make a whole movie filled with this stuff and everybody understands it.
Right. All right. So for this week's trivia, of the following 4 TV shows, which ones have Regina Hall and Sterling K. Brown both appeared on? Not the same episode, but they were both on this show. Okay. A, Ally McBeal. B, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. C, NYPD Blue. Or D, The Good Wife. They were both on episodes of this show, but not at the same time.
NYPD Blue. Just guessing.
Ally McBeal.
Fran, you're correct.
Boom. I did not know. I was just guessing.
Yeah,
best guess.
I was surprised Sterling K. Brown was acting back then because this episode came on in 2000.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Okay.
Regina Hall, it makes sense because she, Scary Movie was her big break. All right, so 2 pieces of trivia. The first one, this movie is based off a short film of the same name. And Fran, why don't you talk about that other piece of trivia I have?
So the other piece of trivia is there's a famous song,
Knuck
in
If You
Black
Buck.
culture, called Knuck If You Buck,
Yes.
that both of the lead actors are singing verses on, and neither one of them had heard the song before actually filming this movie. And they did really well with rapping that whole thing for not ever hearing that song before.
I find it hard to believe they never heard of it. Like, it's one thing to be like, I've never heard of. I don't know the lyrics. Like, I can't do it like they did it in the scene. But it's another thing to be like, I've never heard this song before. And to that, I say, excuse me. Y'all weren't listening to the radio.
So she admitted this when she was on the Breakfast Club. So, and then Charlamagne asked her about this, and she said during this time she wasn't in the club like that and stuff like that.
It was on the radio.
It was on the radio. It's like everywhere. They still play Knuck If You Buck on college campuses today, right?
I listen to Knuck If You Buck at least twice a week.
Oh, absolutely. Like sometimes that's a good pre-work song that you
Right.
need. Yes. So I don't know. But yeah, like I love that, and I love that they bodied those verses so well when they had never really heard those songs like that. So
I mean, they're both solid actors. So Fran, do you have anything to plug before we get out of here, miss?
nothing to plug, same old. Take care of yourself, drink water.
Oh, hold up. Yup. Mm-hmm.
Yes. But self-care is life. Y'all got that. Go to therapy if you need it.
Did you ever go to therapy, Matt?
No.
Sounds about right. So genuinely thank you for coming on, Fran.
Yes, thank you.
You were
Always a pleasure.
you were the first person I thought of for this movie.
I'm glad.
It's
'Cause,
not it's not just because you're black, just so we're clear.
Sure. It's okay. I always love a chance to come in and prove why Matt is wrong for not liking a movie.
I mean, I'm not
appreciate
trying to put you on episodes where Matt's not gonna agree. Okay.
I feel like your track record hasn't really proven that that's the case. So,
But then what are we going to do? What happens if you come on and we both agree? That's not going to be good content.
The thing
feel
is,
like
I'm
the
gonna hate
apocalypse
it. I'm gonna fucking
apocalypse
hate
is
it. That's what's gonna
coming,
happen.
yeah.
But thank you so much for listening. Please rate, like, and review our podcast on your platform of choice. Fran's platform of choice is Google Podcasts, so she is the one listener we get on that, and we thank you.
Yeah. So you can track me very easily.
Fran, why didn't you finish episode 72? What are you doing?
I just probably got busy and was like, I need to listen to music.
If you have any feedback, please email us at weusedtotalkpod@gmail.com. Like our Facebook page. We used to talk about this at work, and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at We Used to Talk Pod. Come back next week when we review another St. Louis favorite, John Hamm, and Confess Fletch. Hopefully with a long overdue special guest. I'm not going to say a name because in case it falls through, I don't want to have to re-edit this, but hopefully we will see that person next week.
Yes, and like always, I don't know if this was a good episode. I don't know if it was a bad episode, but whatever you think about it, talk about it at work. Thank you for listening.